G'day guys, today we're looking at the Canon RF entry-level primes. Hey, thanks for dropping in guys, and today we're looking at the Canon RF entry-level primes made for the full-frame Canon EOS R series of cameras. Unfortunately, none of these lenses will work on Canon's slightly older EF lens mount systems or anything with the M mount. These will only work on the Canon R series of cameras. Okay, so the three entry-level RF lenses we're going to look at are the 35mm f1.8 IS STM macro, the 50mm f1.8 STM, and the 85mm f2 IS STM macro. Let's rip into it. We're going to start with the 35mm. Okay, so the 35mm is an engineering plastic built lens on a metal mount. It's made for the Canon full frame R series of cameras, and this is the prime currently on the wider end of the range if you need to get a little bit more in your frame. The great thing is it's f1.8, so you do get lots of light coming into it, and also you can get great subject separation and background blur. This lens here rocks. I really enjoy it. You know, I've used it a lot, particularly in event photography. I'll generally have the 35mm on a full frame, and then I have an 85mm on a crop sensor. That allows me to get the wide shots and then use the 85 to punch in. But this is just really great and reliable. Takes excellent sharp shots. It does suffer from a little bit of lens flaring and a little bit of ghosting, that sort of thing, but so long as you get your angles right in terms of the orientation to the light, then you won't run into too many problems. One of the great things about this lens is the macro function, meaning that it's got a closest focusing distance of 17 centimeters away from the subject, and you can get some real close-up shots. So not only is it good for general photography, it's also great for sub-macro and close-up imagery. So really good for wedding photographers starting out, or event photographers, or just someone looking to carry a wide-angle lens on the daily that can also provide close-up images. The RF35mm f1.8 IS STM macro comes in around about $600 US. Look, we say they're entry level, but that doesn't mean they're cheap, so you do have to still spend a bit of money on it. But let me tell you, for the R series of cameras, this one is worth it. Okay, so moving on to the RF50mm f1.8 STM. Now you may notice in that title, this one is missing the IS and also the macro. If you know nifty 50s from the EF variants, then this is basically a nifty 50. Not much has changed apart from the mount now being an RF mount. Also, it's slightly more brushed finish with this sort of grey brushed aluminium finish on the engineering plastic. But essentially this is exactly the same in mostly all respects as the EF version of the 50mm. Maybe they've done something a little bit different with the optics or the coatings. But in reality, when you pick this up, you know what you're getting. It's a nifty 50, basically the same as the EF. Look, one thing I really would have liked to see with the RF version is from the put image stabilizer in it. They put it in the 35 and in the 85. Why not the 50? Anyway, the fact of the matter is it does not have image stabilization, but maybe that helps to keep the price down. You should find this around $200 US. Okay, so now we're moving on to the tightest of the bunch. This is the RF85mm f2 IS STM macro. And this lens here comes in a little dearer than both the others at around about $700 US, but you get so much out of this lens. The fact that it's a full frame 85 at f2 gives you beautiful shots if you're taking portraits, or if you want to get a little bit more reach off your camera, it's a perfect option. The fact it also has the macro as well gives you heaps more value in this, because you can get some excellent close-up shots. And even though we had the macro in the 35 with a closest focusing distance of 17 centimeters, with this 85 here having a closest focusing distance of 35 centimeters, believe it or not, you can actually get a tighter frame with the 85 in the macro mode than you can with the 35, even though you can't focus quite as close. The 85 feels like the best lens of the bunch. It's got some real heft to it. It's a nice weighty lens, and on your Canon R or your RP, or if you've got the more expensive R5 or R6, it's going to feel like a real lens. That's a real winner. The fact that it also has the image stabilizer is a real win, because it makes this useful for video as well. And not only that, you could also slow your shutter up and maybe stop down, reduce the light, because you know that you've got that extra stabilization in the lens. It also has a focus limiter, which is quite handy / annoying. It's handy because it limits your focus in situations where you remember that you need it, but it's annoying when you can't focus on the things that you want to on times that you forget it. So sometimes I'm trying to use the macro components of the lens and I just can't get the focus. I need to think to myself, check the focus limiter. It does have the option to leave it in as at full, but the thing with this lens here, it gets a bad rap for its autofocus, and to be perfectly honest, it's not great, and it's not great in video either. But a lot of times recently I've been using manual focus, so you can actually determine where the focal plane is during your shot rather than having the autofocus jumping around all over the place. One thing this lens does get a really bad rap about is when you're using it to focus closely or in macro mode, the lens barrel actually extends, but the thing is you'll never bring that lens barrel back in using autofocus. You kind of have to think about this as two separate lenses. You're either using it for a traditional 85 or you're using it in macro mode. You can't jump between both modes quickly. In fact, if you use manual focus to wind out the barrel to use it in macro mode, it takes heckin' forever. It takes so long, and then it takes equally as long to bring it back. And like I said, you'll never bring the barrel back in with the autofocus motor. You must either turn the camera off or wind it back in manually. So that's a bit of a pain in the backside, I guess you could say. But in reality, remember at the start we said these are entry-level lenses. The fact that you even get the ability to shoot macro out of this lens is a massive plus. And the fact that the barrel does not retract automatically under the autofocus motor is annoying, but it's a slight inconvenience compared to the benefits you get out of this lens. Okay guys, so that is the 3 entry-level RF primes. Now of course there are the 600mm and the 800mm F11s, but they're kind of in a different category because they're specialist lenses. These are the bread and butter lenses for getting your R system up and running. What I really hope to see soon is like a 24mm prime or even a 14mm prime. And then maybe something like a 105 or a 135. And I know those lenses are maybe in consideration or maybe in development, but whatever the case, when they come out, I'll probably pick them up. Because, you know, entry-level lenses, they suit me fine. I really would love to have the more expensive, faster aperture lenses, but there's give and take for those. I mean, let's take the 85 for example. If you look to the 85 1.2, it doesn't have image stabilizer. Okay guys, one thing that I will say about that lineup is that the 35mm is great, the 85mm is great, and the 50mm is as expected. It's a little bit of a disappointment that they didn't lift the 50mm up into the same realms as the 35mm and the 85mm. Maybe even with image stabilizer or with a macro function. Hey guys, I know we whipped through that really quickly, but hopefully that gave you a bit of an insight into these 3 entry-level RF primes. I really enjoy shooting with all of these. They get amazing photos. There's absolutely nothing in any of these lenses that would prevent you from using them in a professional capacity. They're absolutely fine for that. Remember, a lot of that comes down to you as a photographer, not necessarily the lens on the end of your camera. Thank you very much for watching. I've got other videos you can check out right here. But otherwise, in the meantime, have a terrific week and we'll catch you next time. Bye.